Hi dear students, welcome to the next video. Today we will be seeing blood supply of brain. So let's see first the arterial supply. Arteries that are supplying the brain are internal carotid, vertebral arteries and their branches. Internal carotid artery is the branch of common carotid artery that enters the skull through the carotid canal. Vertebral artery is a branch of subclavian artery that initially enters the cervical vertebra. Later, through foramen magnum, it reaches the brain and the vertebral artery of both sides joins, forming basilar artery. So there are two arteries which are supplying the brain, internal carotid and vertebral. These branches, that is internal carotid and vertebral arteries, they will branch inside the brain. Now let's see the branches of the internal carotid artery. The cerebral part of the internal carotid artery, that means the artery after entering into the skull, that part, and supplying the brain, that is called the cerebral part of internal carotid artery. The internal carotid artery has got different parts, like initially it is in the cervical part, so in the neck region, so it is called cervical part. Then it enters the brain, then it is called cerebral part, and so on. The cerebral part gives some branches: ophthalmic artery, anterior cerebral artery, middle cerebral arteries. So let's see these branches. There are few more. Let's see these three first. Ophthalmic artery. Ophthalmic artery is an artery that is supplying the orbit. Ophthalmic artery enters with optic nerve through the optic canal into the orbit and supplying the orbit eyeball. Not only eyeball, the structures in the orbit. Now anterior cerebral artery. So anterior cerebral artery is the artery that can be seen here. Middle cerebral artery. Middle cerebral artery is seen on the superolateral surface of the brain. What you can see here is the medial surface of the brain. Now let's find out the middle cerebral artery here. This is middle cerebral artery. This one is middle cerebral artery, and internal carotid artery. Internal carotid artery. Now anterior cerebral artery. Anterior cerebral artery. Let's find out the ophthalmic artery. Yeah, this is the ophthalmic artery that passes this area. So these are the branches that three branches that we can see from the internal carotid artery. Coming to this picture, this is picture of circle of Willis. We will talk about that later. This is internal carotid and the middle cerebral artery. A better view can be seen: ophthalmic artery, anterior cerebral artery, posterior communicating artery, that communicates with the posterior cerebral artery, anterior choroidal artery. Anterior choroidal artery, this is supplying the ventricle. So these are the branches of the circle of these are the branches of the internal carotid artery, the cerebral part. Circle of Willis is here. Okay, circle of Willis is formed by vessels or the arteries of internal carotid artery and the vertebral arteries. Vertebral artery, we have seen that this forms basilar artery in this figure. Basilar artery further continues in the pons and it divides into posterior cerebral arteries. So we can see this area is magnified here. Yeah, and this is posterior cerebral artery, terminal branch of basilar artery and the internal carotid artery, and These are communicated with posterior communicating artery, and again anteriorly this is anterior cerebral artery and anterior communicating artery, all are connected. So it altogether forms a circle that is called circle of Willis. Anyway, our concern is now the cerebral part of the internal carotid artery, which gives branches like ophthalmic artery, anterior and posterior, anterior and middle cerebral arteries, then posterior communicating artery, anterior choroidal artery. Now we have to discuss these arteries in little detail. Anterior cerebral artery. Anterior cerebral artery, it gives cortical branches. That means these branches will supply the cortex. So cortical branches supply all the medial surface of the cerebral cortex as far as back as parieto-occipital sulcus. So anterior cerebral artery, which is represented here, is this color, and that supplies the medial surface almost up to the parieto-occipital sulcus. It's a small sulcus which can be seen on the medial surface also, parieto-occipital sulcus somewhere here. So this whole area is supplied by anterior cerebral artery. They also supply a strip of cortex about 2.5 cm wide on the adjoining lateral surface. So not only the medial surface, it also supplies the lateral surface, superolateral surface as well. Some of the branches will go to the lateral surface of the brain, and that supplies this region. So this is superolateral surface of the brain, and this is medial surface of the brain. Now a group of central branches pierces anterior perforated substance. Now some of the branches of anterior cerebral artery will have some branch called central branch. We have seen the cortical branch. Now there is another group of branch, central branch. They will supply the inner aspect of the brain by passing through anterior perforated substance. So this green area, there are some foramina, or there are some minute openings, and that's called the anterior perforated substance. And after piercing through this, it supplies the inner part of the brain, like lentiform nucleus, caudate nucleus, internal capsule. These are located interior. So anterior cerebral artery blood supply, the area can be seen on the medial surface and the lateral surface as well. Let me tell you the anterior cerebral artery, the inferior surface, how it is supplying. So this is inferior surface, where this area is lateral to the median plane on either side, either cerebral hemisphere. This area is also supplied by anterior cerebral artery. Now the next one is posterior communicating artery. Posterior communicating artery runs posteriorly above the oculomotor nerve. Oculomotor nerve join the posterior cerebral artery, thus forming part of circle of Willis. So it is forming the circle of Willis by connecting to the posterior cerebral artery from this area, internal carotid artery, and it is passing just posteriorly above the oculomotor nerve. Oculomotor nerve is the third cranial nerve, so it is related to that nerve. This is posterior communicating artery. Middle cerebral artery. Middle cerebral artery, I said that middle cerebral artery is the one which is seen in the superolateral surface. So let's see that middle cerebral artery once again. This is middle cerebral artery. It comes here. This is the largest branch of the internal carotid artery, runs laterally on the lateral cerebral sulcus. So there is a sulcus on the lateral surface of the brain, that's called lateral cerebral sulcus. So it is in this area. It gives a lot of branches. So let's explore the area where middle cerebral artery is supplying the superolateral surface, almost these areas. This is the sulcus where the middle cerebral artery can be seen, and medial surface, the temporal lobe medial surface is supplied by again middle cerebral artery, and this area also supplied by middle cerebral artery. Coming to the inferior surface, the lateral most area, this area and this area are supplied by middle cerebral artery. Now the cortical branches supply the entire lateral surface of the hemisphere. So it is supplying the lateral area except for the narrow strip. Yeah, there is an exception here which is supplied by anterior cerebral artery. It supplies lateral part of orbital surface of temporal pole and also the lateral part of orbital surface. So this is inferior surface. Inferior surface can be divided into two, orbital surface and a tentorial surface. So lateral part of the orbital surface and also the temporal pole. This is temporal pole. This is again temporal pole. So this area is supplied by middle cerebral artery. You have seen medial aspect of the orbital surface is supplied by anterior cerebral artery. Now let's see the cranial part of vertebral artery. Now vertebral arteries, there are two vertebral arteries and they joins to form basilar artery. Now let's see the branches of vertebral artery separately and the basilar artery separately. So there are two systems that you can see here, carotid system that we have already discussed and the vertebral system that we are going to see. The branches of vertebral arteries are meningeal artery. Meningeal artery are meant to supply the meninges. The diagram is not there in this. Anterior spinal artery. Anterior spinal artery located here in front of the spinal cord. Posterior spinal artery. Posterior spinal artery is seen on the back side. There are two posterior spinal artery, but there is a single anterior spinal artery. That's the difference. Posterior inferior cerebellar artery. Posterior inferior cerebellar artery is supplying the cerebellum. Medullary arteries are also seen, which supplies the medulla oblongata. So these are the different branches of the cranial part of vertebral artery. Now let's see these arteries in little detail. Posterior spinal artery, which are paired arteries. So cross section of the spinal cord, anterior and posterior aspect. On the posterior aspect, there are two arteries can be seen. They are the posterior spinal artery. It descends on the posterior surface of the spinal cord, close to the posterior root of spinal nerves. So they are seen very near to the posterior root of spinal nerve. The spinal nerve has got two roots, posterior root and anterior root. So near the posterior root, there is posterior spinal artery. In this diagram, it cannot be seen because it is a ventral view. So posterior spinal artery cannot be seen very clearly, but you can see the origin of it. Anterior spinal artery, it is a singular structure which can be seen on the anterior aspect of the spinal cord. The single artery descends on the anterior surface of the medulla oblongata. Initially it is seen in the medulla oblongata, then it goes to the spinal cord and is embedded in the pyometer along the anterior median fissure. So it is covered by the pyometer and it is almost very near to the anterior median fissure. This fissure that is seen on the anterior aspect is called anterior median fissure. So it is seen in that area. Now let's see the branches of the basilar artery and the branches. So vertebral artery joins to form the basilar artery. Now we have to see the basilar artery branches. Now basilar artery is formed by the union of right and left vertebral artery, I already mentioned, at the lower border of the pons. So this area is the medulla oblongata, pons, midbrain. Now it ends at its upper border. That means it's ending at the upper border of the pons by dividing it into right and left posterior cerebral arteries. So right and left posterior cerebral artery, that's the terminal branches of the basilar artery, but it also gives some branches. Let's see that. It gives following branches. A pontine branch supplies the pons, labyrinthine branch that supplies the inner ear, it's an example of end artery, labyrinthine artery. Anterior inferior cerebellar artery, supplying the cerebellum again. Superior cerebellar artery, this again supplies the cerebellum. So there are three arteries for the cerebellum: superior cerebellar artery, anterior inferior cerebellar artery. These are branches of basilar artery, whereas you have seen another branch supplying the cerebellum arising from vertebral artery, that is posterior inferior cerebellar artery. Altogether three arteries for cerebellum. Posterior cerebral artery, which is the terminal branch of the basilar artery. Now let's see some branches. Labyrinthine artery. Labyrinthine artery, it is meant to supply the inner ear. It is long, narrow artery that accompanies the facial and vestibulocochlear nerve. So there are two nerves which are going to the inner ear, facial and the vestibulocochlear. So they are accompanied by the labyrinthine artery and supplies the inner ear. So inner ear is shown in this area, and it passes along with 7th and 8th cranial nerves into the inner ear. So this picture shows the blood supply of the cerebellum. Now let's see the branches. Anterior inferior cerebellar artery passes posteriorly and laterally and supplies the anterior and inferior parts of cerebellum. So cerebellum can be seen in this. Medulla, pons and midbrain. Superior cerebellar artery. Superior cerebellar artery again can be seen in this area, that it winds around the cerebral peduncle and supplies the superior surface of cerebellum. Now the remaining one is posterior inferior cerebellar artery, which is a branch of vertebral artery. You can see the vertebral artery of both sides joining to form the basilar artery. Now let's see the next branch, posterior cerebral artery. Posterior cerebral artery, I'll just show you once again that. Posterior cerebral artery. Posterior cerebral artery. Let's see how it is appearing here. Posterior cerebral artery curves laterally and backwards around the midbrain and is joined by the posterior communicating branch of the internal carotid artery. So this is posterior cerebral artery. Posterior cerebral artery winds backwards and supplying the posterior aspect of the brain, and it is having communication with the internal carotid artery via posterior communicating artery. So posterior communicating artery connects posterior cerebral artery with the internal carotid artery. So this can be seen in this diagram also for a better understanding. Here, posterior communicating artery connecting carotid artery with the posterior cerebral artery. Posterior communicating artery. Now cortical branches of this artery supplying infralateral and medial surface of the temporal lobe. So the cortical branches are going to supply the infralateral surface. Infralateral surface is almost this area, and the medial surface of the temporal lobe. So this area, medial surface of the temporal lobe, supplied by the posterior cerebral, and the medial surface of occipital lobe. So occipital lobe is also supplied this area. So temporal lobe, occipital lobe, medial surface is supplied, and also the tendorial surface, that is inferior surface. You can see almost all of this area supplied by posterior cerebral artery. Whereas coming to the lateral surface, this area again supplied by posterior cerebral artery. Now central branches arising from posterior cerebral artery. Central branches are meant to supply the inner aspect of the brain, and they pierce brain substance and supply parts of thalamus. Thalamus is a nuclei which is located in the diencephalon of the brain. Thalamus, lentiform nucleus, as well as midbrain, pineal gland, and the medial geniculate bodies. So these areas are supplied by the central branch of posterior cerebral artery. This is the posterior cerebral artery supplying this area and supplying some of the inner nucleus. Now let's see the altogether how the cerebrum is supplied. So we have seen all the branches. Now you have to remember one thing. We have three sets of arteries, basically two systems: internal carotid system, right? Carotid system, and the next one is vertebral system. Carotid system has 5 branches. Now let's see the vertebral system. Vertebral system, 2 vertebral artery joining to form basilar artery. So there are 2 arteries, basilar artery and vertebral artery. Basilar artery gives 5 branches. Vertebral artery also gives 5 branches. So carotid system, carotid artery gives 5 branches. Now vertebral artery gives 5 branches. Basilar artery also gives 5 branches. So 5 5, 5. Altogether 15 branches. Now let's see the uh, blood supply or arterial supply of cerebral cortex. The cerebral cortex is supplied by cortical branches of anterior, middle and posterior cerebral arteries. That is shown in this diagram. So anterior cerebral artery, middle cerebral artery and posterior cerebral artery. The greater part of the supralateral surface is supplied by middle cerebral artery. So the supralateral surface mainly supplied by the middle cerebral artery. The main artery supplying the medial surface is anterior cerebral artery. By looking at the medial surface, the majority of it is supplied by anterior cerebral artery. The area of this surface belonging to the occipital lobe is supplied by posterior cerebral artery, whereas occipital lobe and some part of the temporal lobe is supplied by the posterior cerebral artery. Now the inferior surface is mainly supplied by, or it is divided into two parts as I said before, orbital surface and the tentorial surface starts from here. Okay, tentorial surface starts from here, this area up to here. Why it is called as orbital and tentorial surface? Because this is facing the orbit and this is facing the tentorium cerebelli. That's why. The lateral part of the orbital surface supplied by middle cerebral artery, this area, and the middle part by anterior cerebral artery. Tentorial surface is supplied by the posterior cerebral artery largely, but the temporal pole is supplied by middle cerebral artery. This in this diagram also we can see that the temporal pole is supplied by middle cerebral artery. So we have seen the circle of Willis in this area. So what are the peculiarities of circle of Willis? One peculiar feature is the presence of free anastomosis in the form of circulus arteriosus. So it has got free anastomotic areas. Okay, so we are seeing anatomical peculiarities of cerebral arteries. So in this, one peculiarity is that anastomosis, free anastomosis, arteries are communicating with each other, and that is called, that is going to form circle of Willis. Circle of Willis. How does it form? It's formed anteriorly by anterior communicating artery, which is communicating anterior cerebral artery or connecting anterior cerebral artery. Posteriorly by basilar artery, as it divides into right and left posterior cerebral arteries. So basilar artery dividing into right and left posterior cerebral artery. On each side by anterior cerebral artery, internal carotid artery, posterior communicating artery. So this is how it forms the circle of Willis. The carotid artery, basilar artery dividing into posterior cerebral artery, posterior communicating artery, anterior cerebral artery, anterior communicating artery. The second significance is that these branches, the central branches from the cerebral artery, they are end arteries. These arteries usually supply the inner aspect of the brain and they do not anastomose with each other. That is why it is called end arteries. So thrombosis of any of them invariably causes infarction. So any block to these arteries can lead to cell death. Now let's see the veins of the cerebrum. So we have seen the arteries. Now let's see in short regarding the veins. Superior cerebral veins, there are 6 to 12 in number. Superior cerebral veins can be seen draining the lateral surface of the brain. Superficial middle cerebral vein can be seen in this area, this one, which is almost located in the sulcus, lateral sulcus. This drains the area around the posterior ramus of lateral sulcus. So superior cerebral veins can also be seen on the medial surface as well. Deep middle cerebral veins. Deep middle cerebral veins are located here. This drains the surface of the insula and terminates in the basal vein. So they terminate into the basal vein. So they are draining into the basal vein. Basal veins are here. Now inferior cerebral veins, which are not there in the diagram, they are several in number. that is draining the inferior aspect of the cerebrum. Anterior cerebral veins. Anterior cerebral veins are these one. They are small veins which drains the corpus callosum and anterior part of medial surface of hemisphere. So these veins are anterior cerebral veins. They are going backwards and they are joining with the deep middle cerebral vein here. Now there are some terminal veins like great cerebral vein. This is a single median vein, great cerebral vein of Galen, in fact. Now this one is great cerebral vein. Great cerebral vein is draining into the straight sinus. It is formed by the union of two internal cerebral veins. So internal cerebral veins, there are two. They joins to form the great cerebral vein, and it terminates in straight sinus. So it is going to terminate into the sinus. So sinuses can be seen all over this area. Sinuses are the spaces where filled with blood, which is lined by the endothelium. So this area can get questions like blood supply of cerebrum and circle of Willis. Thank you.